things over now to David and Stephen with the Waterloo Regional Airport. They have recently done some upgrades and have some great community updates for us. So excited to learn more about what they're all offering. Stephen and David, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you. This is David Deeds. I'm a member of the airport board, which is my role here as a volunteer member of that board. I'm going to say a few things to start off with, and then turn it over to Stephen, our airport director at Waterloo Regional Airport. This is an exciting time for Waterloo Regional Airport. We have, in the last 3 months, had some good news for the community and the region. That we have now a better schedule. We have a better operator, and starting tomorrow, we have a better aircraft that is serving the Cedar Valley uh, on American Airlines. So these are all on American Airlines, but I'm going to turn it over to Stephen. I hope you'll take the opportunity to check out Waterloo when you're choosing to fly, but let Stephen go from here with the presentation.
Sounds good. Thanks, David. Thank you, Paige, for this opportunity too. Kind of our big thing is as Dave mentioned, is our better schedule. April 5th, we saw the return of the 6 a.m. flight, and that was a major bonus to the community. So now we have a 6 a.m. departure and approximately 3 p.m. departure, and a 2:30 arrival and a 10 p.m. arrival is what we have currently. What that means for everybody else and for anybody flying publicly is you now can get to the East or West Coast before noon. When I started a little over a year ago, we were lucky if you could get anywhere before 10 p.m. at the earliest. But now you can make meetings in the morning and fly out that same day, and it's close enough you might actually be able to fly back that same day. The other good thing is American is upgrading their hub and rebuilding their Chicago hub. They're adding a new evening bank of flights, so it leans more destinations when you're flying out at 3 p.m. Definitely, they've added about 30 different destinations just in Chicago in the last year. And they're also creating as a dual class hub, and we'll get a little bit more into that what that means. But this is a map of basically every one-stop destination you can now hit from Waterloo. And as you can see, we cover all over the country. With about 10 different foreign destinations. Most are in the Caribbean, but we have 4 one-stop destinations in Europe, which is a definite positive for the community. If you ever want to go to Europe, want to go to Mexico, Puerto Rico, that's a positive and a great thing for the community. So better operator. As of March 6th, we switched to Piedmont Airlines from Air Wisconsin. And if anybody's flown out in the last 2 or 3 years, they've experienced the joys of delays from Air Wisconsin because their airplanes were not very good. And then on June 5th, tomorrow and at 2:30, we switched to Envoy. Both Piedmont and Envoy are actually wholly owned by American. So that means that they typically are a little bit more desiring to be productive. Whereas Air Wisconsin was just paid by the hour of flight time, and that's it. So what does it mean when we talk about upgauging and changing aircraft? What it means in dual classes. It means that they're switching from the ERJ 145 and CRJ 200, which are pretty old airplanes. They've definitely seen the reduction in reliability, and we're switching to an E170. It basically is a 737 just smaller. Is really the best way to describe it as. And it has it actually has more than 2 classes. The airline identifies it as 2 classes. I call it more 3 classes because you have main cabin extra, and you have your main cabin. So you have the option to do multiple seat arrangements of what you would like to do. For example, Dave and I did a presentation, and there was a gentleman that was about 6'6", 6'7", and he said, "Thank you for allowing me to have the option to actually fit on an airplane and fly out of Waterloo," because that was a problem. He could not fit physically on any of our airplanes. So when we also like to touch on is flying local for more service at the airport. We've had these great wins, but we need the community to support those to continue to win. The big thing we always remind people is airports don't choose airlines. Airlines decide where they fly and how they fly, when they fly, and where they're going. So catchment area actually shows that if we could catch everybody, if we could say everybody that flies out of the Waterloo catchment area, we could have at least 5 flights a day, potentially more. When flights are typically between 80 to 85% is when airlines actually pay attention to that. Because right now we've been pre our flight changes, we were actually running about 20% load factors, and it was very tough to support that. So basically, each ticket that we see every day is 1.5 to 2%. And one thing we always remind people is your choice matters in this. And to support that, we have actually created a nice short video talking about how does an airline and how does an airport work.
Planning to fly for your next trip? Imagine boarding a plane just down the road and landing at your destination without driving, just to travel. It's possible and simple. The more you fly ALO, the more places you can go. Here's how it works. Airlines, not airports, decide where planes fly, and their decision depends on one key factor: how many seats are filled on each flight. Less than 1 out of 10 local travelers flies out of Waterloo. If just 5% more Cedar Valley flyers used ALO, the airline could add 1 extra flight or destination. More passengers equal more destination. So why wait? Whether it's for work, family, or just to see a show, anywhere you want to go starts with ALO.
And so that's, that we've started to push this video just to remind people that we need your support to continue to grow and make the airport better. We've definitely improved our things here at the airport with better air service. And also we've just actually yesterday reopened our parking lot. So we now have covered parking here at the airport. And we're working as hard as we can to make everyone's experience better by flying out of ALO.
That's great, Stephen. Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, David. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say I can't say it strongly enough that our individual decisions make our airport better or worse. And we're just asking the community to help make the airport and our air service to this community better, because good commercial air service is important to economic development. That's part we really don't touch on in the presentation. Not only getting to where you want to go, but when employers are looking at our community, or potential employees are looking whether to live in a particular community, whether we have good, reliable commercial air service matters to their decisions. So please give Waterloo a shot, and hopefully I think you'll have a good experience most of the time. Remember, it is flying, and flying comes with its own challenges, but give Waterloo a shot.
That's great. And I'm glad that you said that, David, because I think that isn't always something that we consider when it comes to support, like that, the role that having an airport in a community of our size, the impact that can make, like you said, on business, and on the economic development side of things. So appreciate you for kind of spelling that out for us a little bit. And that video was great, Stephen. That was so cute. And I think also, like, it's interesting to see some of those numbers. And when I saw like 5%, if 5% more people, like, that feels attainable too, right? Of we can see some of this future growth of maybe adding flights or destinations or whatever it is, with those individual decisions, and that's something we as community members can do. So thank you, and we'll get to some questions at the end for you guys as well.